I would say I'm still kind of stuck on Westside Guns and Then You Pray for Me. I'm
Mhm.
still stuck on that. I haven't really been able to move past
We're
it.
gonna dive into it more with that album, but I'm
Yeah.
curious, how did you think Costas, so the Benny Conway song, how do you like them on a trap beat compared to maybe their normal like piano roll type stuff?
Honestly, hearing Take Keith on a
Yeah, it's
West Side
cool.
Gun album, like I did not expect that at all. But Benny and Conway and West Side Gun, they were able to make it work. I really like
Yeah,
that track,
Be-
Costas. You
Benny's
know,
slid.
a lot of people, have their thoughts on whether, it was good, it was bad, but I honestly liked it. And I just speak for myself. I love when artists are just able to kind of step, out of the box and
Yeah.
just kind of do something new and not be afraid to do that because West Side Gun is kind of known for one type of hip
Mhm.
hop, like the alternative boom bap, and for him to just be able to just step out and be like, okay, I'm gonna give you a bit of that, but I'm gonna give you something different. I think it takes a lot of guts to do
Yeah.
something like that.
And
Mhm.
his music, I feel like, tends to be something that you can't judge off listening once because he's such an
Wow,
acquired taste of a voice.
such
So
an acquired taste, yes,
you have to get used to that like pocket. Also, I
definitely.
hate people are like some people like don't like Stove God. I think he's the one. I
I
need that Stove
love
God
him.
album.
I think he's never missed like on a West Side Gun project. He just has his own flair. Nah, I'm
He's
a
hilarious.
fan.
And I just want to emphasize what you said, Elsie, and that's facts. Especially as consumers, it's so easy to kind of put your artist in a box,
In the
and that
box.
really screws them over. I know, like even Joey Badass, he's known as this boom bap guy,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
as soon as he starts dabbling with All American Badass, and he wants to do a little bit more commercial sound, everyone's hating
Mhm.
on him. When the message is still the
Exactly,
same, it's still
exactly.
powerful, and that's difficult. And I'm a little bit of a culprit too, because I did love the album, but I didn't love the trap beats. But I also don't want to say Westside Gunn can't be on these beats because he's trying to
Mhm.
get out of the box. He's
Exactly, and I
literally
think
forever
that's a
changing.
very valid critique, honestly,
Mhm.
you know?
And he mentioned that. I mean, he said this is his last album, but he's still releasing projects. So whatever about that
We'll
comment.
see, we'll see. I
Yeah,
think it's one
but
of those things we'll see.
yeah, but he did mention he's like, I'll get on Afro beats because someone tweeted that to him. He's like, I'll hop on.
Who,
I'm
Westside Gunn?
yeah. So I'm curious. Let's
Yes.
hear. Let's get him and Thames on a song. I'm curious to see what that sounds like.
I saw that
That's
tweet. I was
crazy.
like, you know what? If he's able to do it well, why not?
Why
I
not?
think we're living in an age where like what we know as genres are kind of collapsing. Like the
Mhm.
lines are blurring day by day. And I feel like any artist, like we saw Gunna just hop on Afrobeats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that was
sounded
He did
good.
crazy.
well. Like it was
It
pretty
sounded
good.
good.
So
Mhm.
honestly, I feel like anyone could do anything music wise as long as you're willing to execute that
An
well.
artist who does quote unquote sometimes oversaturate the market, some might say, is Westside Gunn, and someone who's
Oversaturate. Like I want to. I want to. I'm not sure I understand. Like
maybe
She wants
some would say
clarity.
maybe he drops too much.
okay. I see what you mean.
So like obviously like last year was it 2 years ago when he dropped back to back with the Hitler Wears Hermes double album like
He
2 weeks in a
dropped some.
row,
Mhm.
Yep.
and it's a lot of songs. But actually, I thought the double album did pretty well. I thought it was a really good album. But he dropped a new project. He says it's his last. We don't believe him. Who cares? But what were your thoughts on the new album and the takes that you got?
Yeah, I was really excited when I saw "And Then You Pray for Me." He the way it was framed, it was like a sequence, like a sequel to "Pray for Paris," and everybody liked "Pray for Paris."
Great.
So going into the album, I kind of had expectations. I thought like the sound, palette and design would be very similar to "Pray for Paris." But going in there, album started like any Griselda album. I was like, okay, but just like I said, hearing Take Keith. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was so confused. But just listening to the album, I think West Side Gun also, kind of perfected the balance. He had trap there, but he still sprinkled, some songs that just gave that classic West Side Gun feel, like Kitchen Lights, for example. And you
Great.
were just able to see, that glimpse of brilliance out there. Um, but he did mention the fact that I think I was watching his interview with Fantano just a couple days ago, and he was saying that he wanted to pay like homage to the originators, the gritty trap, people
Mhm.
like Ti, Jeezy. That was kind of what he wanted to do, and bringing DJ drama, and getting that context from him. Actually, I went to re-listen to the album, and it made a lot of sense to me. I'm like, okay, wow, this context really matters. I think the album was great. I think
Mhm.
people have valid critiques saying that, they didn't like the trap sound, I feel like people have their valid critique with that, because it's very hard to kind of maybe hear an artist that you expected something from on something entirely different. Um, but I really I might be biased just because I really like Westside Gunn. So but I really like the effort that went into the album, and I more songs, even the trap songs that I didn't love on first listen, are really growing on me. So I really think it was a good
Mhm.
effort. I don't believe in rating albums over 10. I feel like that might change. So
Yeah.
I really don't believe in that, but I
Mhm.
think it was pretty good.
Yeah, I 100% agree with your take. And seeing Westside Gun being able to work with these legends, trying something new, that's always going to be applauded. And you
Hmm.
even mentioned Pray for Paris, which is my favorite Westside Gun album. Sometimes I can keep my artist in a little box
Understandably.
because, right, that was incredible. And then he
Hmm.
dropped so many times after. I'm like, please just slow down. Let us continue to love Pray for Paris. And I'm happy you also brought up Beyonce too, because when I heard Renaissance, and listen, I'm a huge Lemonade stan. Like
Okay,
that
yeah,
album
everyone
like
loved
was
Lemonade.
right revolutionary. Then she dropped Renaissance. I
It
didn't
was
get
so
it.
different. It's like,
So
what is
different.
this? you know.
Yeah. And then when she started doing her concerts and actually putting it into the theatrics, I'm like, oh,
You get
okay,
the
this is the
context.
grand
You
vision.
actually now get the context.